What is up, everyone? Circon bringing you guys another replay, and this is mine with the amazing Ferdinand. Yes, indeed, we are playing Ferdinand, and yes, we are at tier 8, of course. We almost finished every single tier 7. I still have to do the KV3, but I'm kind of putting that for a later date, because a lot of people are playing them for the double barrel tanks. So the requirements are going up, even though they really shouldn't. So I just started at tier 8, literally yesterday, and I was like, why not start with the amazing Ferdinand? And so it was meant to be. So we are on the Birmingham line. We are top tier in a -2 game. Not my preferred way of playing the game. I'd much rather play against a bunch of tier 7s, but it is the way it is. And as you can see by the team list, we are up against the WC120, 2 Progettos. We have 2 Progettos, double barrel. So the tier 8s are pretty damn even, which is kind of nice because those are some of the best tier 8s in the game. Definitely a little bit better than the Ferdinand, who, you know, was maybe good 7 years ago. And nowadays, not that great, right? There's not a lot of people that will stay committed and say that Ferdinand is still a good tank. And I still think the Panther 2, for example, is a better tank, just because you have the same gun, but you have a lot better maneuverability and arguably a better superstructure, right? But, I mean, at least we have the gun of the Panther 2, which means you can blast people like that, which is rather nice, right? As you can see, the pen here is 246, and on the APCR is 311, and it's APCR, which I like way more than the heat. And you might be wondering, why am I going here, and why I'm not going like south or something, because that's usually where armored things go. It's because I don't think from this spawn, this is a good lane to go into. Not to mention that, you know, our double barrels there, they don't seem to have much, and they also seem to be, the enemy team seems to be focused on the AB line here as well. And I have excellent shots, and I almost always blind fire the bush that I shot the scout in. So this is one of the first games I've started playing into it, and shots like that should kind of be better, but I'm still getting adjusted to the gun itself. I don't know about you guys, but I always tend to play better once, you know, I kind of played a couple of games in the same tank. Then, you know, you start getting used to the gun handling and all that. And that was a beautiful shot for 481, which is rather nice, with the 490 alpha, of course. And these people are catching on to the fact that I'm here, so I'm gonna just shoot some back at... this is a pretty hard shot because of all the trees. But you can definitely shoot this line here. There's a couple of trees and whatnot. And I got shot by an M10 as well, who apparently is there, but he's unspotted for now. And then I'm trying to see if this guy ever peeks, because there's like, as you can see in the minimap, there's like one little rock there. And he's about to get either shot by some of these people or by me if he goes back. So that's what we're waiting for. And I know when you look at the behind us, or to the right of us, is that he's asking for help. But with this tank, I literally cannot, I cannot help him there. And we get a really juicy shot on the 85M, and let's see if he can repair in time, and boom. Nope, we cannot get the kill, but we don't shoot either, so we have a shot at the Progetto for 467. And this, you know, I know this is classical TD gameplay, right? And with a tank like this, especially nowadays, you shouldn't even pretend like you have armor, and you should really play this second line and be relatively camping like this, right? And now the 120, I don't know if I'm spotted or what, but he's putting some cheeky shots into this really obvious spot. And I'm not too worried about tier 6s and 7s shooting me. But yeah, this 120, that is not very nice, sir. So we're going to peek, see if we can find him, and then we're going to retreat so he doesn't hit us again with another blind shot. And as you can see behind us, we're now very, very screwed there. But this spot is actually pretty decent still. Because of this, this little hill here, we can actually sit behind it, as you will see what I'm going to do now. This is something that's kind of hard to see, but try and use a little bit of cover there. And I know that the Jackson or the KV3 is going to be one of the first ones, and the KV3 is feeling rather brave. And we just spin the turret. And the 85M shoots us in the back now, but the Hellcat is going for it, so I'm not going to turn around, because I see on the minimap that the Hellcat is going for it. Then we actually get a bounce with our APCR, which is 311 on the turret, whilst the AP just went through him. And then he's feeling very lucky there. And then we blast him for 512, and the RT almost kills him, And here I want to get maybe the Jackson. I'm not gonna peek out because the double barrel was spotted there, and the double barrel is just so much better than this tank. It's kind of insane, and it has really strong heat as well. But now you get spotted here, so I'm like, okay, maybe we can make this work. So now I'm gonna go forward, Jackson. I auto aim, which is my mistake, and I only track him. But here he gets very unlucky because guess what? Boom, he gets artied and tracked. I'm gonna be reloaded. He already uses repair on my tracking shot, so we still get the kill. Now it's just a KB3, but again, I'm gonna pretend like I'm reloading, and good night. Kill him as well. Obviously, I'm not even gonna pretend I'm reloading. I am reloading, but I'm gonna move a little bit as well so that he feels safer to aim at me, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like psychological, because you know, if I'm moving, my shots are not gonna be accurate, so he feels more comfortable at aiming at my tank. If I were to stand still there, the chances of him dipping down below again are pretty high. So here I make a mistake, because I think that the WZ-120 got spotted here, and I saw him going around here. And I was kind of thinking, wait, is he going middle? Like, is he taking this route? Which clearly isn't, and now, because we're in a really, really slow Ferdinand, I'm kind of screwed, because the real play would be to actually just retreat and use camo and bushes to shoot them without being counter-spotted. That is the play. So now, I'm taking a chance. Because the 703-2, the double barrel, is relatively fast, and he's going downhill right here, and then around the corner, right? That's where he just got last spotted there. The 120 gets spotted here with the Churchill, which obviously we cannot help at all. Like, the Churchill is a brave lad, but he would have also been better just retreating. Same with the Hellcat. The Hellcat, I don't know what he's thinking. He should also just retreat. Like, we're not in a position where we can push against the WZ-120 in a double barrel. Like, it's not gonna happen. And here, I'm like, oh, thank the Lord, because the double barrel actually gets spotted by the Churchill 7, so I know he's not gonna be here anymore. And now, at the very least, I'm hoping that the Hellcat can maybe kill artillery. You know, it's a long shot, but maybe. But the artillery actually already moved away. So Hellcat doesn't get the kill there. He should really retreat back now, as I'm making the great migration back to my base after only having spent time at basically G6, which is just a really good spot for a TD, especially if your team is actually pushing up and occupying the B4 spot here. If they're there, this spot is awesome. If your team is not at like C1, 2 and all that, if they're not fighting here, this is a really treacherous spot because you can get shot really easily and get spotted by people coming from the south lane here. So it's a good spot as long as you have the numbers up north, which we did from the get-go. As you can see, most of the people went up north. So I was like, all right, we can make definite use of this. And I like going here in fast tanks and shooting this bush because a lot of scouts will be there. So I usually go there and then flex. But because the Ferdinand is, you know, not the best tank nor the fastest, yeah, that's basically all we could do. So now I'm thinking they're probably going to be lazy and go up here and go either through the middle here and go to E3 or go all the way up north and go down. So I'm taking the one spot that is still relatively decent. There might be better spots for me to hide here in retrospect, but yeah, like this is probably not the best play I could have done. But, you know, it's a play nonetheless. I don't think I should have gone up here. That would have been bad. The thing I'm thinking about is more being in the corner here. But I always feel like half of these bushes don't count, you know? And I know that this bush works, so I'm just going to use the one thing that I know works. Even if I think, even when I was playing, I was saying, like, this is not the most optimal play, right? But at least we'll hopefully get to have a shot. And there's several reasons why this is not the optimal play, because the Ferdinand is so high that even if we're in this little ditch here, we're going to be sticking out, and we have super flat armor. That's not going to be a good thing. And I'm obviously at an extreme disadvantage here, because both the WZ-120, who now got spotted very late by the M44, unfortunately I couldn't see him probably because of the camo, goes for M44, kills him, and now the double barrel gets spotted, and this is at least a fairly good shot, where we can just shoot through the front, and hit a 447, a little bit of a low roll, but it's okay. And I know the WZ-120 is coming from the right, so I'm trying not to cross past this mountain, basically. I bounced one, which is a bit of a dumb bounce. I could have easily penned it. Artillery is obviously now on the left side, and that's also a problem. And yeah, now things are really awkward. We know that WZ-120 is in the base, so he's gonna come from here. There he is. Bounce him, shoot him once. He becomes 77 health. I gotta be the aggressor here to throw away the shots, and now the 120 fucks up, and I actually just ram him to death. It's crazy, and we penned the 703 in the hull. He pens me once with the heat, which is super easy. He low rolls though, but I'm still a one shot, and he bounces, last second bounces the heat off the good old Ferdinand, so I am still alive and I'm in it. And that was a crazy sequence that I should have never been able to win. I tried to make the most of what I had and got a bit lucky, right? I could not have done much more than this. They have super good heat ammo, and heat ammo works really well against the Ferdinand. And luckily, with just about I pulled almost every trick out of the book that I could there. And I don't know why the 120 did the thing he did, but the RAM was super nice and allowed us to go for the 703. And that was basically the only thing that could have happened for me to win that 2v1 there. Absolutely insane. And that is something that I could not have done in Yak Panther 2. Yeah, so Ferdinand, super good. No, it's still not that good. I'll be honest. But yeah, we did rack up 5,000 damage and 2,400 bounce with some spotting done as well. So I got shot from the left, and I'm thinking he's either gonna retreat and defend, or he's gonna go cap. But either way, with 4 minutes left and I'm in a slow tank, I'm gonna risk it. It could be a draw, could be a loss. I have to risk it and go straight to the base. So that's what we're doing. We're just beelining straight to the base. I can speed it up a little bit. But yeah, the Ferdinand, it is really outdated, and you know, people can just shoot so easily even through your superstructure because it's so unbelievably flat. And you know, these side armors here, these shoulder pads as I like to call them, are extremely weak. You might be wondering what I'm doing here, by the way, is shooting this super obvious spot that people always hide in. And that I use as well. A lot of people know about it by now. So I'm just putting some shots in there, see if I can spot it. And then he starts capping. He just started capping. The artillery just started capping. He drove through the cap. Now he's in the cap again. I'm like, oh god, I'm not gonna win now because I need some percentage. And he goes out of the cap. I go into the cap. I'm getting cap points, so he has to go into base. The enemy team, the enemy artillery has to go into our base now to make this a draw. But he's super late. He's not doing it, so now I win unless he resets me. Because you need like 5 seconds in between to win. So now he's gonna be way too late. This is like, you know, over 10 seconds. So I win this. But the thing is, he has artillery and he can shoot across the map. So now I'm like, alright, now this is a roulette. This is gambling at this point. I'm thinking he's gonna shoot in this area because, you know, that's probably where I would normally hide. Like, this is arguably the worst spot, but he does in fact shoot there. And now I'm like, wait, if I was artillery, I would probably shoot the same place twice. Because a lot of people are think like, huh, I'm just going to go to the spot he just fired because he's never going to shoot there again. And if I was artillery, that's actually what I would do. So that's not what we're going to do. And here's another funny thing. He can shoot like 2 or 3 times more. So I'm just like, well, this is just up to pure chance. This is a gigantic cap circle. He hits again there. That's fine, I guess. And now he can probably shoot one more time. And I'm just kind of thinking, maybe I will win. Like, this is gonna come down to one more shot, and it's 100% doable. And if he's lucky, he can even set me on fire. Like, it's a Ferdinand after all. Well, 5 seconds left. He definitely has one more shot. And just as I tried to meme here, he shoots here. But this is another thing that I like to do whilst you're capping versus artillery, is shoot away the whatever this is, the little tower, to make them think like you're driving through it and debate the shot, right? Some people will shoot like around this area right away. But he just fired, so it didn't really work. But yeah, that is victory by base capture, and that is something I don't do often. Now, I'm not going to show you the post-game stats. I'm just going to tell you what it was. It just makes my life a lot easier for these recordings. So we made profit. We made 17k profit. And here's another nice thing. We actually did one more shot of damage. Remember when we were at G5 and we bounced the M10 and the T34? And I was like, they're on the ridge line. I'll just take a pot shot because it doesn't matter. And we actually managed to hit the M10 that was at B5. So we ended up doing 5,449 damage, and the assistance damage is obviously 431. We made 17k credits, and this was a base XP game of almost 1,500. So yeah, that was pretty good. And for those who still care about this, I have like this a program that shows me all the stats of all the replays that I have. It also was 11,000 WN8. So yeah, quite lucky, but also making the most. I did everything possible to get that luck, and this time we got the luck. So that is the Ferdinand, and yeah, I mean, the gun is just very nice. I already free marked the Yak Panther too, and the Rhine Metal as well a long time ago. And you know, if anything, it has a really nice gun that I really like with the APCR AP combo. And yeah, I actually was having decent games. I might throw up a couple more replays of the Ferdinand. I'm actually close to free marking it now because other people don't know how to play it. So it turned out to be relatively easy. But yeah, that is the Ferdinand. Hope you guys enjoyed the little replay. Don't forget to subscribe and all that stuff. I'll see you guys some other time. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, boys. I really appreciate it. Check out some of the other videos that I have, the other highlights, and I'm gonna try and do more of these replays instead of just highlights for YouTube because I feel like it works better and people seem to enjoy them more. Highlights have their own charm. I might talk about this in a separate video, but yeah, thanks all the support. See you guys later. Take care, everyone.